data providers, we do, and then try to decipher all of the information so it makes common logical sense. Then, once you've worked out which areas are about to perform that are E-tagged for growth with low vacancy rates, massive infrastructure spending, multiple industries and multiple companies operating in the area that will provide ongoing jobs growth, travel to the specific areas, source a suitable land or other development that fits all the required criteria, meet and negotiate with developers for the best deal, find a licensed, trustworthy builder and negotiate favorable terms, and then engage trustworthy real estate agents to manage the property once it's built. And then, at the same time, try and put together your specialist team of finance brokers, tax specialists, SMSF advisors, lawyers, and so forth, and try and go it alone. But most people, we find, have some fairly hectic time constraints, so very hard to fit into their already busy lives. Or take the third option and choose to walk a well-trodden path and leveraging your time and becoming a member of our Portfolio Builder program so you can continue with your life and let positive property investments assist and take all the legwork out of it for you by accessing and utilizing our specialist team of professionals and their resources and our property selections. Guys, if nothing else, make sure your property investing journey is a nice, smooth road, not a laborious and sometimes confusing second job. And that's what it often can become. So what does it all look like? You've got your property investment plan, and that's valued at $197. We've got access to our advisory network with all of your one-on-ones with our finance team, financial planners, tax specialists, SMSF team, etc. And that's hard to put a price on, but for the initial time, let's say that's worth well over $997. You've also got access to our stringently selected properties with all the research reports, the due diligence, the rental appraisals, the depreciation estimates, the financials, etc., etc. And that's worth well over $497. But again, how do you put a value on unlimited access to hand-selected, high-growth, cash flow positive properties? So that's a total of $1,691. But for today only, and for taking the time to be on this webinar, I have an offer. An offer you simply cannot refuse. And it's not $1,691. I want to make this a real no-brainer with incredible value. And considering other so-called educators out there will charge anywhere from $5,000 up to $10,000 up front for a mentoring and coaching program, which is basically a copy of the services that we offer here, it's just $297. Oh, and another thing, it's a lifetime membership. In other words, there's no ongoing annual fees. There's no extra money to be paid. We don't ask for another cent from you. So by joining now, we guarantee there will be no ongoing fees or monthly subscriptions. But we have to limit our intake so that we can continue to give the personal service we're known for. When the current round of admissions is full, applicants will be waitlisted and offered the opportunity to join us when we start to take on new members again. But we can't guarantee this special lifetime membership or today's special low price at that time. Guys, I thought about this from your angle. If I were you, and I'd want all the risks to be taken away. So I've decided to offer you a 100% no questions asked money back satisfaction guarantee. So there's absolutely no risk to you whatsoever. None. If in 30 days you find that our properties don't stack up, you don't like our team, our advisory network, you don't like the property plan, heck, you don't even like the name of the property plan, for whatever reason, just simply send us an email. You can keep the property plan and we'll give you 100% of your money back. Can't get any fairer than that. And another member happy with quality of service throughout the process? PPI provide excellent quality service. I got a lot of support when I was considering purchasing investment properties. Guys, we like to make this as enjoyable as possible, not a daunting and uncomfortable experience. I think this client pretty much sums up what our members feel about how we help. It just makes life simpler if you're busy working a full-time job and want to also have a property investment portfolio at the same time. Guys, I'm seeing a few questions pop up in the chat box asking how do I join? Where do I sign up? So let me just get this button up for you now. There it is. Guys, you can get going now by simply clicking the big Become a Member button I've just enabled below. I think it's there. Guys, just type Y or yes in the chat box if you can see the Become a Member button below. I'm not the best at driving this thing, but it looks like you guys have got it there now. Look, and to make it even easier, we have payment options available as well. So you can either pay the $297 and get it out of the way in one go, or choose two equal repayments of $149. Most members take the $297 in one go, but it's entirely up to you. So simply click the big button below and you'll be taken to a page where you can get going right now. And I did also say before we would look at some live deals. So let's run you through a few now. It's probably the part most of you have been waiting to see in this session. These are the deals that you won't see on realestate.com.au or Domain or any website for that matter. Deals we source and pretty much put together ourselves. Deals that only our priority members can access. So I'm guessing you're thinking, how does the priority pass work? Well, it's for the action takers, the people who take immediate action and enroll in our membership program get priority access to the properties that I'm about to show you. Much like a first in best dressed or first class check-in at the airport scenario. Now there's often a waiting queue for these properties, and I'll run through how that all works in a moment, but back to the properties. Let's first look at what we call a dual income house and land package as an example. You can see we highlight where the area is in the market cycle. It's at the bottom, and the driver or area fundamentals in just a small snapshot. We've assembled all the other statistics that you need to know, like vacancy rates, annual growth rates, 3-year and 5-year growth rates. Now, all our properties, as you saw earlier, come with our comprehensive due diligence kits, which are a 25-odd page report that delves into exactly what's happening in the area with the rail, the highways, the population growth, and so forth and so on. You'll find the specific area that we're looking at right now is a suburb that's ear-tagged for growth. So in this case, the purchase price is $485,000 with a net after-tax cash flow of $5,920. And this is not in some mining or one-trick pony town. This is a major capital city. Let's keep moving. Which brings us up to cash flow positive apartments. And the age-old argument, which is the better investment, apartments or house and land? Well, the answer is there is no right or wrong answer if you can find deals like this. You see, there's been a big shift into higher density living lately. So the old adage of, the land goes up and the house goes down, it's starting to go out the window to a degree, depending on the area, of course. The dinks, or what we call double income with no kids scenario, has certainly created a desire for higher density apartment living. My only caveat on this style of investment is the supply-demand ratio and what's in the development pipeline in the area, which must be considered in your due diligence. Most people think apartments don't achieve a decent return with their associated costs like body corporate, etc. But in our scenario here, after we negotiate with the developer for specific incentives, a one-bedder now delivers a tidy $7,500 cash flow positive net after-tax return in a metropolitan area. Desired unit location, high demand and super strong jobs forecast, not a bad deal. But remember at the start of the presentation, I mentioned I'll show you a strategy about how to make $130,000 without picking up a paintbrush or a shovel. And the best part is you make the money the day it settles, so you can roll into another property very quickly. Well, this is it. I like to think of it as the holy grail of investing. Basically, it's what we call a duplex strategy. And I'm actually negotiating on 2 of these deals right now for my personal portfolio. So these aren't just deals we shell out to our members, unless of course you're a priority pass member, that is. So firstly, we need to find a 7 o'clock market. Then we have our team source the development that actually has lots that are zoned to facilitate a duplex, or what's called Res B, RD3 or medium density. It differs from council to council. Now before you go online and start to search for one of these deals, especially the way we have them structured, you'll have a tough time, as these deals do not come up on realestate.com.au or Domain. They are literally like hen's teeth. Councils don't usually allow a whole heap of duplexes stacked in one line. So this is where my acquisitions team come into the fold. We are in touch with the majority developers that have these lots coming up, and we put our foot on them way before the mainstream get a look in. So here's a scenario. Sure, it's a little dearer and not for everyone, but here's how, as I said before, when you make 100 to 130 grand at settlement versus doing a renovation for 6 or 8 months, or what we call forcing equity on your property. So $554,000 is the purchase price. The rent is $700 a week, so a decent return of $8,118, cash flow after tax. But the best part about this, and I'll explain more in detail now, is how do we create instantly the equity? It's a house and land deal, so you build the 2 dwellings, but they're on one title. Then at settlement, we strata title them for our clients, meaning we end up with two separate properties on separate titles. And yes, we show our members exactly how to do this and hold their hand through the process. We then go back to the bank